Heart to Heart with Abba Gabba. Heart to Heart with Abba Gabba. Hello and welcome to Heart with Abba Gabba, a podcast in honor of celebrating families and everything about children, beginning with us. Confidently, this will inspire and encourage us to listen, defend, and advocate for our infants, toddlers, preschoolers, school age children, teenagers, and all children from across the board to help us see the world from their perspectives and offer support throughout their stages of development. Celebrate! Heart to Heart with Abagaba is sponsored by Stop Smart, your one-stop destination for staffing and non-medical concierge services for adults, teens, and children. For more information, I encourage you to visit www.staff-smart.org and by phone 480-875-6871. Hello, everyone. You're listening to Heart with Abagaba. I'm your host, Abby Dominguez. A few weeks ago, I sat in my kitchen wishing all my listeners a happy new month. Now, that month has flown by and April showers are just around the corner. As I reflect on these past weeks, my heart overflows with gratitude. Oh my gosh, you guys, we've hit 500 plays and counting. A huge shout out to my incredible guests and listeners near and far. Your support, shares, and subscriptions mean the world to me. I couldn't have done this without you. Here's to more conversations, connections, and milestones ahead. My podcast is fairly new, so this milestone encourages me to continue growing our listening community by sharing valuable and compelling content. Today, I am excited to tell a deeply personal story, one of love, resilience, and the unbreakable bonds of family through separation and reunion, heartbreak, and healing. If you're looking for a mother daughter reunion story, this episode is for you. Stay tuned. Since we are reflecting on the end of the month and embracing gratitude, I want to share one of my favorite quotes. It might take a year, it might take a day, but what's meant to be will always find its way. Do you know who said it? I'd love to know. Drop a comment on this episode. This quote became a reality in my life when I searched for the woman who gave me life. The journey wasn't easy, but it was worth the wait. Before finding my happy ending, I often found comfort in the lyrics of Hark My Soul, It Is the Lord, the hymn I first heard at my old girls' boarding school. One part always stood out to me. Can a woman's tender care cease toward the child she bears? Yes, she may forgetful be, yet will I remember thee. And I used to sing this all the time. Can a woman's tender care cease toward the child she bears? Yes, she may forgetful be, yet will I remember thee. Oh my goodness, it just brought such big smiles on my face. These words carried me through moments of loneliness and confusion, reminding me I was loved even when I didn't know where I belonged. I remember watching an episode of the Oprah Winfrey Show in 2010 about a mother and daughter reuniting after 42 years apart. I cried with them and whispered to myself, I hope my reunion doesn't take that long. It didn't. After 33 years, I heard my mother's voice again in August 2012. 3 years later, I finally saw her in person. The wait was long, the journey seemed long, but it was worth it. Do you remember the children's book, Are You My Mother by P.D. Eastman? The little bird instinctively knew he had a mother and set out on a journey to find her. When they finally reunited, it was a joyful moment. I've always loved that story. This morning, I was talking to my 11-month-old babies and asked them, where was mommy 10 years ago? They looked at me and smiled as if to say, tell us more. So, let me tell you. On March 28th, 2015, exactly 10 years ago, I landed in Ghana, West Africa, from Philadelphia, PA, to meet my mother for the first time in 36 years. The moment was surreal. Our reunion happened at the Accra airport, and it was even more beautiful than I had imagined. Just 4 days later, on April 1st, my mother turned 60. I had planned my trip around her birthday so I could celebrate with her, something I had dreamed of for years. My Aunt Emma threw her a surprise party, and when she saw her cake, she touched her heart and whispered, oh my gosh, I've never seen some before. She had never had a birthday cake in her entire life. From that day on, I experienced many firsts with my parents, taking photos together, sharing a meal together, riding in the same car, simply being in the same space. So, what's my mother like? She is hilarious. She makes me laugh. She loves her lipstick, loves her children and grandchildren, and holds onto her faith through every challenge. I called her today and we reminisced about our first meeting. That phrase, oh my gosh, I've never seen some before, has become our little inside joke. Good memories. This year, my sweet and beautiful mother is turning 70. I want to be in Ghana to celebrate with her, and that makes me sad. She has grandchildren she's yet to meet in person, but I believe that day will come. Today, I'm simply grateful, grateful that I chose to let go of fear, anger, and the pain of abandonment. Grateful that I reached out to her. The years of not knowing my mother do not compare to the joy of loving her now. Happy early milestone birthday to my mother and a 10-year reunion strong on our special anniversary. Our story is incredibly moving, and I'm so glad I shared some with you. And to all the women of the world, happy Women's Month. May your days be filled with light, laughter, and love. See you in April. Heart to Heart with Abagaba is also sponsored by Aspire Behavioral Health. They offer monitoring, counseling, medication, and personal care services in a beautiful residential setting. I encourage you to contact them at aspirecbh@outlook.com or call 480-875-6871. Please feel free to share this podcast with your friends, families, and loved ones. And if you would like to connect with me, the best place would be on my website, abigailedominguez.com, or on social media. You can follow me on Instagram at author_abigaile_Dominguez. And we have a new YouTube channel at Heart to Heart with Abagaba. So please feel free to check us out also. And finally, I'd like to make a disclaimer that the stories and points of views we have shared on this podcast are personal and from our life and work experiences. We are not legal, medical, mental, or health advisors. Have an awesome day, and I look forward to connecting with you again on this platform. Be your light, be joyful, and as always, celebrate.